Ball striking in tennis is huge. If you want to win more tennis matches, learn to hit a heavier ball. That's a ball with both compression and rotation. Now in a second, I'm going to give you a drill that can drastically help improve your ball striking. But first, check out this analysis I did for a player where we talk about why players can have so many checkpoints down but still mess up their forehand and backhand so close to contact. So I don't care what anyone says. Ball striking relative to the court dimensions and what you have to do with the net is not intuitive. It's not natural. Very few people do it naturally. So you have to understand this impossible part of the swing which you can't see. You can't even feel the ball's off your strings after the 5/1000th-ish of a second. So you should really know exactly what happens, especially with all the myths about how to create topspin effectively. To hit a heavy ball, a compressed ball, it's actually simpler than people generally make it. Strings lead in from below the ball, and you can just see how this racket, even here, to be honest with you, this footage was really hard to get, but my racket squares out a little early, and I end up closing it here just enough as I hit this ball. But you can see the ball completely pancake out, and it really grabs on the strings if you're hitting through it. So, but our brain hates that. The brain would love to think that there's just a slight opening of that racket face and that we're going to kind of contact the ball just below center, here. But that's just not what happens. Friction makes the ball go up. You hit up through it. And then once you're there, that's it. There's no angular change with the racket face through the hit. But this is really important that you understand that friction, the strings are even slightly closed if you're hitting a really big forehand. And again, I know fractions of a degree, but and then let's watch your groundies here. This is just some B-roll, but let's get to the slow down portion, because that's really what we need to see. And we're going to split screen you with some pros here, but at regular speed, it looks fine. You hit all the checkpoints, unit turn, low and closed, catching your racket, high follow through. But I'm telling you, you got to get super close to contact to find out where we differ. And even here, to me, your racket face is just squaring out too quick. And even at contact, again, I know it seems like a small thing, but if you're just slightly open with that racket face, you can't swing out. The ball will go long. And the brain knows that. It's going to tighten the shoulders. It's going to hold back from really swinging out. So I think for you, you have this perception of either coming slightly under the ball, or you've tried to do like the windshield wiper flick and noticed that didn't grab the ball enough. So you kind of developed this other issue. But here's a really good one with Isner, just so you can see how long that racket stays closed. He still has it hooded, and it's kind of as you hit that it grabs. Again, you can't swing out with a racket face like this, just a half a degree open. These little things have a huge impact on the ball. That ball's going long. And you can try to save it with a little flick at the end, but it's just going to kill your racket at speed and your consistency. You're not going to be as consistent. But here's the drill you can do for it. It seems kind of wacky and crazy, but if you just go out and purposely ground some balls, intentional grounding, would be a football term, but just intentionally hit the top of the ball, target the top of the ball, hit it right in the ground on purpose every time. It's going to feel horrible to you, but it's going to give you the feeling of leaving that racket closed. And now, so these balls are going in the ground, but watch how similar it is to a ball that goes over the net. It's just such a minute thing that if I split screen these, you wouldn't know if I was going to ground this ball or if I was going to hit it over. But this is just a nice topspin forehand over the net. And do it on the backhand side too. Ground a few, and then go back and forth from grounding and just find out how subtle of a change you can make to making the ball start going over the net. If this rings true to you, go out and experiment with your ball striking. It's these subtle things that are going to make a big difference in your game. Try the grounding drill and see if it helps. If you like the video, there's a button for that. Please also consider subscribing. I'll see you next time.